Any discussion about Oracle Cloud and databases inside Oracle Cloud would be incomplete without discussing about autonomous databases. So it's very important that what we have done for, say, on-prem database, we should try and replicate the same for autonomous databases. So in this video, we will take a look how you can configure and enable the Oracle Database Vault inside an autonomous database. Remember, if you are working on an autonomous database, if you're working on a shared model of autonomous database, then all you are getting is it's a pluggable database from Oracle. So Oracle would be having a container database in which they would have already embedded or already configured and enabled database vault. So all you need to now do is you need to configure and enable the database vault inside your own pluggable database. All right. So let's take a look. So what you need to do is you just need to go to Oracle Cloud. You go to Autonomous Data Warehouse. You might remember the ADW that we had created. So we had created the ADB01. Now we need to connect to the SQL developer. So you go to Tools, go to Database Actions. Here it will ask you for the user. So this would be your admin user. Give your admin user an admin password. It will open the data tools where you have the SQL, REST, Apex, JSON related work. So we can just simply go to SQL because we need to go to SQL developer. So this is like the web interface of SQL developer. And let's take a look into our document, what we need to do. So first we will do is we will actually create a new HR schema, and we'll just try and add some data inside this schema. So if I go here, so if you see the user is created, then I will try and grant, connect, and resource, and I'll alter the HR schema with quota unlimited on data, which is the table space that you get. So I will execute. Okay. Okay, grant is succeeded. Quota unlimited on data, that is good. Then we can try and create So we'll try and create the table, which is simple HR.employee, right? And we'll insert some data in that. One row inserted, and we'll try and insert some more data, and we'll just simply commit it. And probably we can just simply do select star from HR.employees. HR.employee. Okay, so sorry for the typo. We do HR.employee. Okay, so we just basically connected to our autonomous database. All we have done is we created a schema and we just loaded some data in it. Right. Why I'm doing this is because I would like you guys to work on a similar lab exercise, what we did for the on-prem database, where we worked on creating realms. We worked on how you can access the data. So I'd like that you should actually try and do the same exercise inside autonomous database. It's pretty simple. It works in the same manner. So let's take a look at these statements, what we did with on-prem, where we looked at the status of label security and the status of database vault. So let's see how things are in our pluggable database. So if I go here and okay, if I try and check Okay, so if you see here, the database vault configuration status is set to false, and the database vault enable status is also set to false, which is pretty much similar to what we were doing when we were working on the on-prem. Let's take a look at the label security. For label security, if you see, it is slightly different. So in pluggable database, if you see, the label security is already set to true, and also it is set to true as enabled. So label security wise, things are different because it's already set to true, but database vault wise, things are different where it's neither configured nor enabled, which means that we need to basically configure and enable as well. Okay, so as we did previously, we would have to create a couple of users. One is our database vault root user or the owner, and the other is our database vault account manager. The same way what we did for on-prem environment, we'll do it for the autonomous database as well. Okay, so let's execute it one by one. Always good to do it one at a time so that we see how things are. So this has gone fine. Okay, grant succeeded. Then I execute for the next user. Great, grant succeeded. So we have in our pluggable database now created two users. One is the ADB DV root, which is the database vault root user, and ADB DV account manager. Right, good. Now we try and check the same statements again and see what is the status again. Just to clarify, I have it here, so let's do it here. So if you see, it's still the same. Both are false, and if I do this, again, it's pretty same where the label security is set to true and the enabled status is also set to true. So that's all good. Now it's a time to actually configure database vault. So guys, remember, we have to configure and we have to enable. Now this is slightly different when we talk about autonomous database, because previously you might remember that we had the DBMS Mac ADM package where we worked on it. Here things are slightly different. We have a DBMS Cloud Mac ADM, and you just need to say configure database vault, and you just need to give your two users, which is your database vault root user and database vault account manager. So let's do that. Okay, nice one. So if you see, this has been executed. And the other difference with autonomous databases is that whatever work you are right now doing is you are sitting inside the admin user and you're performing all the work. So you don't have to switch between different users like previously what we did when we were working for on-prem environment. And then you just simply have to enable your database vault. So again, to enable database vault, we have the same package, which is DBMS Cloud Mac ADM, and you just simply give the enable database vault, right? Great. So this has been executed as well. Good. Now what we need to do is we can try and check the status back of the label security and database vault and see how things are looking, because we have configured, we have enabled. So I would like to check it. So let's repeat that. So if I do this, okay, so if you see here guys, the database vault configuration status is now set to true, but the database enable status is still set to false. Right, even though we have enabled it. Why? Because we need to restart. That is still pending. So I'll show you that as well. If I actually do a database say OLS status, then it's still the same. It's true for configuration and true for enabled. That is good. So what does the next step say? It says restart ADW database, and then you verify it again. So let's do that now quickly. So if I go to my autonomous database, all I need to do is I can just say restart, confirm restart. So I'm saying please restart the autonomous database. Normally it's pretty quick. So remember, what we were doing was we were actually checking for the label security and autonomous database vault status. We already configured and enabled. Still, we were not able to see the enabled status. The configuration was shown as say it was true, but still the enabled status was set to false. So that's why we need to restart our ADW, or the autonomous database. And if you see here, we are restarting the ADW as per our documentation as well. And then we will actually verify if the label security and database vault are installed and configured. If they are installed and configured, then we are good to go. You can start creating your realms, you can start working on your data and all that stuff. Yeah. So let's take a look. It's still restarting. Okay, you can also have a look in the work requests. So it shows that your restart is running. So maybe I'll give it some time, and we shall revisit and we'll take it from there. Another couple of minutes, your autonomous database should be up and running. You should see it as a green and available. I would normally just go back to tools and go to open database actions, give the username back as admin, give the password for admin, and open a new SQL Developer web. And we will try and execute the same statements and see what is the current status, right? So if I go here and execute my statements one at a time, so I'll try and execute the database vault status. Nice one. So you guys see here the database configuration status is true, which was previously true as well, but the database vault enabled status was previously set to false. So we restarted our autonomous database, and now the database vault status has changed to true. And for label security, I would say things would still be the same. The label security configuration and the label security enable status is set to true. So guys, with this video, we managed to configure and enable database vault inside an autonomous database. Thanks for watching.